What up, Analog Kid here, and today's video, just wanted to make a video about summing to tape. A lot of us, actually all of us, are making music on computers these days, and it may seem a little harsh sounding. That's because of the way the nature of the audio is recorded to the digital format. So what we are lacking when we move to recording the computers is that analog warmth that that you get from running your music through all those analog electronics. So basically what happens is when you run your music through a tape machine, what it does is it just smooths all the rough edges out, so it sounds really smooth to your ears. And it does this through a physical process. It actually, because the way that digital recording works, there are no curves. Everything is a straight line. So if you're gonna make a curve in the digital format, you gotta zoom in really tightly and then just make little straight notches that, if you zoom out, forms a curve. With analog audio, everything is like a waveform and it's super smoothed out. It's more mellow, and that word we're used to hearing, warm. So what we did was we ran our next single, my band King Soul and the Vibes, our next single, Unspeakable Things. We are in the process of mixing and mastering it. So we did the summing through a analog mixer and then into a tape machine, a 1/4-inch tape machine, and then back into the computer. So this is what we did, and this is our process. Check it out and enjoy. I also want to give a shout out to my homeboy 6W. He helped us out with this process. This was pretty much mostly all his equipment and his knowledge. So thanks again, 6W, for helping us out and teaching me how to be a good engineer. Peace. Now we're about to do this. We're gonna sum some audio from our Logic file into this old school Tascam mixer and into this TIAC tape machine, 1/4-inch. And I haven't seen much stuff on YouTube, so we're gonna make a video. Let's see what happens. Rock and roll. So we forgot to bring the other reel, the empty reel. We only have full reels, so we're gonna have to sacrifice a relic from the 1960s, and we're going to sacrifice the tape on this reel so we can empty it out. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Here we are, emptying out the reel. 1/4-inch tape from 1960s. 60-year-old tape, as old as Willie.
People are gonna troll us for this. They end up watching this and you guys are trolls. We're trolls, you're trolls. Dope. Look at that.
Look at that. Vintage tape. Bye-bye, all the engineers around the world. And kiss.
Oh shit, I didn't get it.
Here it is. Here we go.
You guys ready?
Here we go. Let me know when. No.
Good.
So now we're setting up part 2 of this thing. We're gonna go from the TIAC tape machine to the Apogee. It's connected to the other Mac. That's gonna be recording the song from the tape machine. Alright, part 2, recording from tape.
to the computer. There he goes. How do you feel? Sounds good.
You hear it?
Okay.
Earlier, what we did, it came out on mono because we didn't set the. What did we do 6 wrong? Like we didn't set the.
We had the bus channels on mono as opposed to sending them left and right, according to wherever
The routing.
1 through 8. Yeah, we're going to.
So yeah, everything was pretty much coming out mono, and but we can still use that mono master that we made. But we're gonna do another full-on stereo one right now, and pretty much same setup,
It's on.
but we just routed it differently, and we did some more mixing on this now. Like we actually like EQ'd and like put levels and shit. So here we go. All right, what you want to do is you're gonna want to bus out all the instruments in their own outputs. So what we had at our disposal was the Focusrite Sapphire Pro 40, and that has 8 outputs. So what we did was we summed and bused the different instruments to their own bus outputs. So we had 2 outputs left and right for the drums, and then another 2 outputs left and right for the bass, and then another 2 outputs left and right for the guitars and the keyboards, mid-range, and then the last 2 stereo vocal outputs. And they went into the mixer as individual inputs. We had an 8-track mixer, so the drums went into first 2 tracks, and the bass first 2 tracks, the next 2 tracks, sorry, and then the guitar keyboards the next 2 tracks, and the vocals the last 2 tracks. And then we had a little bit of panning and some EQing on that analog mixer, which was a Tascam. I forget which model it was. I have to get back to. And from the mixer, it was the mixer summed it pretty much to a stereo file, not a file, but stereo signal, which we then fed into the 1/4-inch tape machine, and then the 1/4-inch tape machine recorded the signal, and after that we rewound the tape, and we recorded what we recorded from the tape back into the computer. So it's a little bit complicated, may have a little bit of a hard time to wrap your head around it, but if you're into audio, definitely get into it, because it's super fun and it makes your tracks have another dimension that it didn't have before. So check it out. So now we're playing the track through from the computer to the mixer, and it's recording in the tape machine, making magic happen. So we ran into one more glitch. The signal wasn't hitting the tape at the same level. Like the right was a little bit hotter. So 6 is adjusting the gain separately.
Damn, fuck.
So now we recorded to tape, and now we're playing back from tape to the other computer through the interface, and we're recording back into digital from analog. Yo, so that's what you can do to put some warmth into your digital recordings, make it sound a little bit more pro. At least that's my opinion, because we put so much into it. As you can see, it probably took 6 hours for the first try that we did when it came out mono. But it still sounded pretty damn good, so we're probably going to release that with a single. I don't, in my opinion, what we did is not replicatable with a plugin, just because I may be biased and we put all that effort into it. But yeah, I don't think a plugin can replicate the true nature of tape. I mean, that sound is just fat and warm and huge, and it just makes it that much more pro, in my opinion.
Yo, so that's how we did it. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be doing some more videos about music, making music, and musician's life. And yeah, stay tuned. Peace.